Let's talk about tourism a little bit, first of all. We'll get on and talk about the bailout in just a moment. Greece has a huge opportunity. The tourism industry is massive. It has been taxed heavily. It has been maybe not given the opportunities that it needs to develop fully. What are you doing right now that's going to make Greece a better tourism destination going forward, with more value added, with more people visiting?
Well, first of all, let me remind you that 2013 was a record year for Greek tourism.
Yep.
And 2014, we actually managed to beat our record of 2013. So
yeah.
we had back-to-back record years with 15% increase every year. So this means that Greek tourism is definitely back on track.
Yep.
And we see that this growth will continue in 2015. I'm here in London for the WTM, the World Travel Fair. The very important international meeting for tourism, and the messages for 2015 for Greek tourism are very positive. This means that we will be continuing to grow next year, and this means more visitors, but also more revenue for the Greek state. At the same time, since we reinstated the Ministry of Tourism back in 2012, at the time where the situation in Greece wasn't at its best, we've been working on a very specific strategic plan for tourism in order to promote Greece as a tourism destination, but at the same time also to improve tourism infrastructure, services, and attract investment in the tourism sector. And right now we have a very competitive framework for attracting tourism investments, and we see that there's a lot of interest from foreign funds and also from Greek investors to invest in the tourism sector.
Minister, when we look at how much tourism actually contributes to GDP, it's a pretty impressive figure for Greece. 16.4% of GDP comes from tourism. But at the same time, we have a lot of companies today, yesterday, the day before, saying they're worried about the situation in Western Europe. And this has been over the last couple of quarters. Are you concerned that this will start impacting the way people travel also on destination places such as Greece next year?
Well, you know, there are always challenges, but what we have seen is that definitely tourism is a very resilient sector, and Greece remains a very attractive destination, and it has provided very good value for money in recent years, and I think that this is something that all visitors have realized. It's a very competitive industry, and an industry that has really helped in the recovery of the Greek economy.
Okay. Back in May, the Prime Minister, Mr. Samaras, said the biggest challenge for the tourism industry is reducing taxes. Unacceptably high, he called them. Now, certain taxes have come down. The VAT on food has come down from, 23% to 13%. He talked, though, about the fact that there needs to be more, that the tourism industry needs more help on the fiscal front. What's happening?
Well, as you said, the VAT in food and restauration was from 23% lowered to 13%, which made the tourism package more competitive. We have a low accommodation VAT. So overall, I could say that the VAT in tourism is quite competitive.
Are there more taxes coming down? Are we going to see more tax cuts for the sector?
The aim is to be able to reduce taxes in tourism for the whole of the tourism package in order to become even more competitive. But I would say that right now we remain value for money as a destination for all kinds of budget and for all kinds of the tourism offering, all the variety of options that are offered.
Is this rhetoric, or is this going to be stepped up? I mean, is it something that you're discussing with a lot of your colleagues, that actually tourism should be the one place that isn't touched because you contribute so much, and I guess it's one of your biggest assets in Greece?
Well, it is one of the biggest assets, and it's not only the revenue, it's also a very big job creator.
Yeah.
And this is especially important in Greece right now with the high unemployment rates, and especially because tourism can also provide opportunities for young people to be employed, and also to start businesses in the tourism sector. That's why we're, as the Ministry of Tourism, we're really trying to support startups in the tourism sector.
But has the Prime Minister agreed that actually no further tax increases will happen in
well,
tourism?
That's something that is not on the table. Of course, we will not have increases in the taxes. We believe that if the situation in Greece gets better, we will be able to reduce some of the taxes.
Well, I'm a big fan of Greece, going on holiday. Love it, fantastic. And I love its rustic charm in certain of the islands, lovely. But one of the things that always strikes me is that Greece has a bigger opportunity compared with other tourist destinations to raise the value added. And I look at what's happening with the old airport sites just outside Athens, like just outside Athens. Beaches, great waterfronts, potential to develop some really high value-added casinos up there. It doesn't seem to happen quickly enough. Where are we with that project, and how are you guys going to encourage more value-added to be invested into the country?
The old airport is only one of the assets.
It's a big one.
It is a big one, and the project is actually one which is meaning to transform the beach area of Athens. Yeah. But at the same time, there are a lot of other projects which are already being constructed right now in the beach area of Athens. And also at the same time, the privatization program of the government is going ahead with the privatization of the regional airports, which is very important when it comes to improving the infrastructure and the services at the regional airports, and also for the marinas, because of course one can understand that yachting is a huge competitive advantage for Greece with the sea and all the islands. So we're really trying to improve the infrastructure in the marinas, and these are part of the privatization program of the government, which is currently under...
Longer runway in Skiathos would be fantastic.
One of the other things that we want to touch on is, of course, the bailout, because we had an EU official telling us today that Greece will actually need more credit after the bailout ends, possibly at the end of this year. What's the talk in government? Is this being discussed? Further credit lines? What's your take on it?
Well, let's see what's going to happen, because I can't comment on something that we haven't had on the table yet. But the internal, let's say, discussion in Greece is that the Greek government would be willing to exit the...
Are you ready?
The program. Well, this is something that will be ascertained when all the controls are made.
When you talk to your colleagues, that they feel that this is the right time. You've seen a lot of volatility recently on the financial markets. There's a lot of concern about Greece. Is this the right time to be doing this, or is this being driven by concerns about what Syriza is going to be doing if we have snap elections?
Well, the truth is that it has been very harsh on Greek society, and let's not forget that the Greek people have been going under a lot of pressure. We have been in a recession for 6 consecutive years. This is the first quarter that we have marginal growth. You know that we had a balanced budget this year, a primary surplus. We're expecting to have a budgetary surplus next year and a growth of 2.9%. Of course, these are all very positive reviews, but we understand that the Greek government has to go ahead with all the structural reforms which are necessary in order for the economy to really be able to not just get back to the path of growth, but also to have a sustainable future. So this is the most important thing for Greece, to have a sustainable future.
Minister, thank you so much for joining us. The Greek tourism minister there, Olga Kefalogianni.